Anybody in here want to increase their credit score? Anybody? One, two. You guys, you're a senior. You're a senior. You're a senior. You're not a senior. Wait, sophomore. You're only senior. Okay, what is it? Sophomore. Okay. So I'm gonna help you guys. A lot of times people ask about how to increase their credit. I'm gonna give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about credit. Okay. Stuff that most people won't tell you. Honestly, your parents probably didn't teach you this, and you can't definitely depend on the school to teach you. No disrespect, but the school aren't gonna teach you this way. So, if you want to increase your credit score, the first thing I'll tell you is to do what they call authorized use. If your mom or dad has a credit card, your parent, you got young, you're big boy. How old are you? About 20. Okay, you're on your way. So you're already building your credit then. If you have your own credit, you're by law, you're a grown man. You're an adult. Yeah. The easiest way to build, if you're not in his position, the easiest way to build your credit score is low-hanging fruit is your cell phone. You get a cell phone and you have a cell phone bill, you put the cell phone in your name, it's gotta be a certain age, I guess 18 or whatever, and you pay your cell phone bill on time, what that will do will increase your credit score, because you gotta start where you are. Does that make sense? You gotta start where you are. So, yes.
So my question is that my parents told me that using the credit card is basically only for small purchases. And for me, being that I was using it for big stuff. And at the last moment, I had to get all that off. So then I had it on the hard.
Yeah.
And my dad still telling me that, to cancel, I'm not responsible. So, give me like a month. You see my credit, it went up. After that whole disaster, the first one, he gave me credit card.
Okay.
So he just told me, next time,
Don't do it again. Yeah. The first thing, and hopefully you guys heard what he said. What he was saying was he was a stubborn kid. Most kids are. You think you're smarter than your parents. They tell you you're not. Alright. His parents said, don't spend a bunch of money on his credit card. What did he do? He went and racked up a bunch of credit card debt. And then he got that bill and he was sick to his stomach. Is that pretty accurate? He was like, excuse me, I have to go up. That was his money that he spent. And his parents were basically like, I told you, right? So he had to pay that. And what happened is, I tell anybody, when it comes to credit cards, you have to have discipline. The average person doesn't have discipline. Let's be honest with you, the average person doesn't have discipline. I'll give you a quick, basic example. I'm not saying I was awesome in school, because I wasn't. But when it came to attendance, I was very good. In 4 years of school, I only missed 2 days of school. 4 years of high school. I missed 1 year my freshman year, 1 year my sophomore year. That's really, I don't even really remember that.
You mean one day?
Huh?
You mean one day?
Yeah, what I said.
1 year?
Oh, yeah, definitely not. So, in 4 years, I missed 2 days of school total. Not because I was awesome, I'm just disciplined. My mom taught me to do what I needed to do, even if I didn't want to do it. Does that make sense? Show up. Like, show up for yourself. If you can't show up for yourself, you're not going to be able to show up for your family. You're not going to be able to show up for your wife, your husband. Learn how to have discipline. So when it comes to a credit card, at that point in time, he didn't have any discipline. He went crazy. Swipe. He probably bought some stuff for his car, whatever, right? But then he realized. So one of the things I tell people is when it comes to your credit card, if you're going to use your credit card, 'cause some people are just going to use it. I don't think it's a personal choice. If you're going to use your credit card, use the credit card and spend the money that you actually have. Does that make sense? So if you spend $60, be able to pay that off in like 30 days. But don't spend $700 and you know you're not going to make $700 back in any time soon. Does that make sense? So the people that are loaning you money, I always tell people credit is a slippery slope. And the people that are loaning you money are hoping that you slip. And they're going to capitalize because they understand that people don't have discipline. Does that make sense? So they know if I give you a $2,000 credit limit, they're already banking on you that you're going to spend $2,000 because you don't have any discipline. Does it make sense? So, do you have another question?
No,
track record, right? So we're gonna use John Doe for example. So I wish your name already. Joanna, you look like a good student. You come to school? So yes. Yes, okay. Joanna comes to school. She doesn't miss any days. So we got John Doe over here. Joanna's always in school. We got John Doe here. John Doe is always skipping school. That's his track record. If you were to bet that he was gonna be here on Monday, you might lose your money. That with me? His track record tells us he doesn't show up. Your credit score is your track record. How much credit you have, how often you pay it off, are you on time, are you always late, how long have you had it, type of credit do you have, is it student loans, is it store credit, is it mortgage, is it car loans? So your credit score is all about how your track record is and your ability to pay money off. Can you borrow this money responsibly and pay it off? Is this making sense? So as you start to do that, and they see your track record is pretty good, they're gonna say, what's your name? Roberto? They're gonna say, Mr. Roberto, come on in, step into my office. We're gonna increase your credit card by $2,000. So it went from 2,000 to now it went to 4,000. And Mr. Roberto is like, yeah, he's happy. And what they're doing is they're not gonna tell you every time they increase it, they're dangling the carrot in front of the number. What's your favorite food? Pizza? Huh? Oh, yeah. So if I'm trying to get him to mess up, I'm gonna name one of his favorite food in front of him. He's probably gonna slip up, isn't he? Eventually, he's gonna slip up. As they increase that as they increase your credit limit, the whole man should slip. Because remember, it was 2,000, and then we doubled it to 4,000, and then you did pretty good, and then they increased it to now 6,000. And you know what people do? That's when they get greedy. And they step over into the $6,000 range, and boom, that's when they catch it. And then you get hit with all that interest. I always tell people, interest is profits for the bank. Okay? You guys gotta understand this. A bank is a business. You guys gotta understand that. Get that burned in your brain. A bank is a business. They're real nice. They're like, hey Joanna, how are you? They know you by name. Make no mistake about it. They're sharks. It's a business. So if you don't pay that $1,000 back within a certain amount of time, let's say it's 30 days. They're gonna say, if you don't pay this back in 30 days, we're gonna charge you $1,000 plus 100. You only borrowed 1,000 now. They're gonna charge you $100 interest. Now you pay $1,100 total. But you only borrowed 1,000. Does that seem fair? What do y'all think? This is their opinion. What do y'all think about that? It's a business model. It's a business. What do you think? What's your opinion?
I think that's
Why?
I think it's fair. Like you add $100 to show me that because you slipped and you didn't pay it on time, at least you have to face the extra money. I feel like that kind of helps them to avoid it because they know that if they keep messing up, it's going to get bigger and bigger until they get to a point where they can't pay. And then they're left with even more debt down the line. So they use everything to pay.
Yeah. And that's no word. That's the thing. Thank you, Juan. So what they're going to do is they're going to charge you more money than what you actually borrow because that's how they make money. How does a bank make money? One of the biggest is called a business model. Business model is how a bank makes money. So let me give you an example. Walmart's business model is we're going to sell these products for the lowest possible price, and we're hoping that you guys buy 1 million of them. If I sell something for $1 and you buy 1 million of them, I just made $1 million, isn't it? Not a bad business model. Y'all with me? It's not a bad business model. And if you step in Walmart's way, they're going to crush you like a bug on the windshield. When you go to Walmart, you know what you're getting. You're getting cheap stuff. Tell me I'm lying. You're not going to Walmart for high quality luxury. You're going for cheap stuff. That's their business model. A bank's business model is we're going to loan you money that you don't really have. We're going to charge you interest. Not a bad business model, is it? Not a bad business model. It's called MRR, monthly recurring revenue. Monthly recurring revenue. You can make money a lot of different ways. banks make money by loaning us money that we don't really have, alright? So keep that in mind when it comes to credit. It's money that they're giving you, but you have to pay that back, okay? As a financial coach, I do my client's budget. So I work with people who make, I have clients that make $140,000 and they have $140,000 student loans. I have clients that, you know how many times I had clients tell me, I make six figures, but it doesn't feel like it. Y'all know what six figures is? What is that? That's $100,000 or more a year. Yep. So they make $100,000 or more a year, but they say it doesn't feel like it. You know why? Because it's a number of different reasons, but one of the main reasons is debt. It's going to be hard to build wealth when you're sending your money to other people. Okay. So what happens is, where was that? Oh, so I was talking about credit and understanding that. So if you are borrowing money, you're going to have to pay that back, and it's going to be hard to build wealth when you're sending your money to other people. So what happens is, if you're making six figures and you're sending, you got to think about it. You got rent or mortgage, you got gas, you got car insurance, you got to buy groceries. A lot of people like to eat out. Like the average American spends $3,000 a year eating out. That's not on average. Some people spend more, some people spend less, right? So you got all this stuff going out, and you got to pay debt back. And then you wonder why you don't have any money, right? This is making sense?
Mhm.
So did any of you guys work in here? Where you work at?
I work at a bar.
You work at a bar?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do you do there? A bartender. Okay. I was not expecting that. Anybody else work in here? Anybody else? No other people work? Okay. So when you start to work, in particular as a young adult, you guys don't have as many bills. That's an opportunity to really save money. Does that make sense? Because you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay mortgage, stuff like that. So I will tell y'all this: while you're making your money, whether it's Chick-fil-A, whatever, any of y'all plan on working this summer? Anybody plan on working? Good. Go to work. Go to work. Save your money. It's going to be easier to save money when you're not sending your money to so many people. So when it comes to credit, I want y'all to think of it like this: it's not free money. You have to pay that back, and also you have to understand this thing called compound interest. Y'all know what that is? Okay, compound interest is really simple. It can work for you or against you. So let's say, what's your name, young man? Eric? Eric, okay. So y'all listen to this, we're gonna do a little quick experiment. This is compound interest. So Eric, if I said that you have, this is option A, $1 million cash, it's yours right now, or option B, 1 penny, and then double for 30 consecutive days. Which one would you take? $1 million cash, or 1 penny? Which one would you take?
$30 for 30
30 days straight.
each day.
Yep, and then you got $1 million cash. Which one would you take? Take the penny. Do you know how much it would be in 30 days? A lot. Is it a lot on a number scale? What do you think? Give me a number. Give a number, Bill, together. You want me to tell you? He said he would take the penny. This is a good choice. Good job, man. So $1 million cash is a lot of money, right? So the penny, if it doubled for 30 consecutive days straight, it would be $5.3 million. A penny. People throw pennies on the ground, don't they? People who don't value money, most times it's like people who don't understand the value of money. They throw money on the ground. A penny, if it doubled for 30 consecutive days, it would be $5.3 million. That's crazy, isn't it? That's compound interest working for you. We're going to talk about investing in a second. But it can also work against you. When you have debt, either your debt is going to go up or it's going to go down. If you're not paying it off, it's going to continue to go up. Remember I said, you didn't borrow all that money. You only borrowed X amount of dollars, but it's steady going up. And then you're like, man, where's all my money going? And now you have to pay all that back. Does that make sense? So when it comes to credit, make sure you understand the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not free money. And understand that if you're not paying it off, like Roberto went a little crazy, but he learned, he got burned, right? And then he learned his lesson. So now he knows, let me put a little bit on here because I can questions about credit? Any questions at all? Take your time. Go ahead.
Yes. My question is if a debit card's better than a credit card.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Really good question. A lot of people, so credit card, they do a good job on protecting you if money is stolen, fraudulent. So
Mhm.
from that regard, credit cards are better. But at the same time, I like debit card just from the standpoint of it only allows you to spend what you really have. I mean, yes, you have overdraft and things of that nature. I just like to have my own money. I just like having my own money. And the data shows that we spend more money when we use plastic. You know why?
Yes.
You know why?
I think because like we spend our money on plastic bags because they help us carry stuff, but when we're done with them, we either throw it away or save them for later.
Yeah, but what I mean is like when you use your credit card, you spend more money when you use any type of plastic card. You know why you think you spend more money?
Probably
You don't know?
because of
Okay.
I think tax.
Tax. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it doesn't feel like you spent any money when
Mhm.
you swipe your card.
Yeah.
If I take $100 bill out, it pains me. It hurts me. Cause I'm like that's $100 bill. That's a Benjamin Franklin. I lay it down on the table. I remember. Anybody ever bought anything from Amazon?
Nope.
Anybody? It doesn't even feel like you spent money, does it?
No.
Put it in the cart. You hit buy and boom. It might be on your doorstep when you get home. It's like whoa, wait a minute. It doesn't even feel like you spent any money because when you are using your card, it has that feeling like almost like it's free money. Though if I start taking out cash and I start counting it, you would suddenly wake up. If I pull out a credit card, that's not gonna excite you. But if I pull out some cash, your eyes would get big, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Cash is still king. But yes, that's a good question. Did I answer your question? I think it's just a personal preference, honestly. Like I don't have any credit cards, so all I have is my debit card and then my money that I have saved up.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, I feel like debit cards are more better because that way you can control how much because you only spend like the money you actually have. So
Yeah.
like you don't have to pay it back,
Yeah.
and that means like you know how to like control it because
Yeah.
what you need to spend, what you spend, it doesn't matter depending on the money. So I feel like it's a bit better because with credit cards like you have to pay everything back if you mess up, but with debit cards, if you mess up you don't have to pay it back, but if you're in the red zone like. Because I don't think the debit card would work if you don't have any more money in it, right?
Yeah, well, you can have overdraft protection, but like I teach all my clients, don't have overdraft protection. You don't need it. Just manage your money better. Because overdraft protection, they say it's protecting you. Let me tell you how overdraft protection works. You say your name is Joanna? Joanna? Okay, so let's say Joanna has $100. She spends all of her money, and then she gets down to zero. And then she says, I'm going to go get Chick-fil-A, and she swipes her card for $10. So she has overdraft protection. The bank, it says, we will allow her to swipe that card even though she has $0. So that way we can save her the embarrassment of getting her card declined, right? So now she spent $10, but she also has to spend $10 on an overdraft fee. That's where the banks get you. They don't tell you that. You got to pay, she spent $10 at Chick-fil-A, then she also has to spend $10 to pay the bank back. So you need to pay $20 just to get back to zero. Does that sound like a good deal? See, the bank won't tell you that. The bank will not tell you that. This is why I come in here and talk to students about this stuff, so that way y'all can't say, I never heard this information. Yes, you did. You heard it. You might have been asleep, but your information was given to you. Any other questions before we move on to investment? Take your time. Any other questions before we move on to investment? Any other questions? All right. So if you guys have more questions, I'll be here afterwards as well. If you have something you want to talk to me a little privately, I'll be here as well. So let's talk about investing. All right. Does anybody know what investing is? Anybody know what investing is? Kind of, sort of, a little bit.
Kind of.
Kinda, no worries. What about you, young lady? You know what investing is? A little bit? Alright, so I'm going to teach you guys about investing. Alright, so the first thing I do is, raise your hand if you have an iPhone. Raise your hand if you have an iPhone. Most of us do. Let's be honest, Apple dominates the market, right?
Mm-mm.
So on your phone, you have an iPhone? So on your phone, you have a stocks app. It just comes with it. Most of y'all deleted it so y'all could listen to Spotify and everything else. So you have a stocks app on your phone. Anybody ever seen this before? Y'all know that? You have a stocks app on your phone. This is to tell you, like, I can check the market. Like right now, the market is down today. S&P 500 is down. So what if I told you that you bought this nice phone, because these phones aren't cheap, are they? You bought this nice phone, you got this phone, but you're on the consumer side of the equation. You bought the phone, you put money in Apple's pocket. But what if I told you to get on the other side of the equation where you're now investing? Wouldn't that make more sense? If I told you that you could invest in the profits of Apple, would you like feel comfortable saying that Apple is a good company to put your money in? You should. You bought it.
Mm-mm.
Y'all, put your iPhones in there. Raise your iPhones up. Do you have AirPods? Wait a minute. We got Apple products, left and right. We got iPhones. We got AirPods. Anybody got an Apple Watch? Anybody got an Apple Watch? Raise your hand if you know someone who has an Apple Watch, right? I think he might be wearing one maybe. The Apple, okay, good.
I'm a Samsung guy.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Apple is a strong product, but the problem is we are a consumption society. We love to buy things, but we got to get on the investor side. What if I told you all that I was part owner of Apple? What would y'all say? Responsibility? Would you believe me? What if I told you I was part owner of Nike, Starbucks, Microsoft, Walmart, Home Depot, Ford, Google, and keep going? What would y'all think? Would y'all think I'm lying?
I mean, if you say you're like a boss of one of them, we would believe you. But
Say what?
I would believe you if you say you were like one of the things you list. But if you say you're like the boss of all the things you listed, I wouldn't believe you because that'd be too much work for
Yeah.
one man to do.
Yes. So I'm part owner of all those companies that I just mentioned. I know most people think investors feel like really risky. You feel like you can't do it. Does anybody feel like it's out of reach? Like, I can't invest my money. That's only for rich people. Anybody ever think that? It's okay.
It's a risky process.
What is that?
It's a very risky process.
It's very risky, but it's not. If you learn, once you learn how to do it, it's not hard at all. Here's the thing. You ever seen Exxon? Exxon, the gas company. You ever seen Exxon? Do you think they're gonna? You think they're doing well?
You're welcome.
They're doing well. We need gas. I know they want to make electric cars. We still need gas. So here's the thing. You're existing in the free market anyway. Meaning you're going to Walmart, you're going to Target, you're wearing Nikes, you're buying Apple products. Anybody have Instagram? That's Meta. I'm part owner of Meta. They own Facebook, they own Instagram. All this you guys are all part of. But you're on the consumer side. Let's get on the investor side. So that it's called the S&P 500, Standard & Poor's 500. That's the top 500 largest companies in the world. And I just mentioned all of those, right? So here's the example that I use. Let's say you have, what's your name, man? Andrew, what's your favorite cookie? Cookie, yeah. Chocolate chip. Oh, man, I knew you were gonna say that. Everybody says chocolate chip, and I love chocolate chip cookies, right? So we got chocolate chip cookies right here. You can invest all your money in all the sales of all the chocolate chip cookies. Not a bad deal, right? Keep in mind, chocolate chip is worldwide. It's not just an American thing. People love them everywhere. But then we have something over here. This is all the sales of all chocolate chip cookies and the other cookies as well. Macadamia, snickerdoodle, sugar, peanut butter, oatmeal, and chocolate chip. Which one would you pick? Chocolate chip cookies or all the cookies? All of them, right? That's the market. The S&P 500, Standard & Poor's 500. Buy the whole entire market. Don't worry about trying to do single stocks. I bought the whole market. Does that make sense? So I don't shop at Walmart, but I make money from Walmart. Pretty cool, right? That's nice. I didn't buy them virtual reality glasses because I feel like I'm not a fan of artificial. Yeah, I'm not buying them. Leave my mind alone. Elon's trying to put chips in people's mind. I feel like it's weird. But I didn't buy those virtual reality glasses, but I was going like this when they came out. Why was I doing that? Why do y'all think I was doing that? Because what? I didn't, but I made money from it. Isn't
Ching,
that
ching.
cool? I'm making money right now. By sitting here talking to you guys, I'm making money. When I go to sleep, I'm making money. You gotta learn how to put your money to work. Money doesn't take a smoke break, it doesn't take a day off, it doesn't go on holiday, it doesn't go on strike, it doesn't have a case of money, it doesn't go to sleep. It's constant. So where do I sign up? How can I put my money to work? The harder that your money works for you, the easier, the harder your money works for you, the less you'll have to work for your money. Is this making sense? So he said, kind of. What are you confused about right now?
Like, how do we actually make our money work? Like,
Investment.
Oh,
Investment into the stock market. Because you got that nice Helly Hansen jacket on. It's like $150, probably more.
I have this that it was on sale, so it was for the cheap.
But it's still Helly Hansen. It's the name brand, right?
Yeah.
This is e-company. That's not cheap. So you bought it even though it was on sale. You spent money, right? But what if you could buy that jacket? Helly Hansen is not a privately owned company to my knowledge. I'll give you a great example. You guys heard of Louis Vuitton? Louis Vuitton, right? So Louis Vuitton is LVMHO, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. His name is Bernard Arnault. During the pandemic, he became the richest man in the world. He had more money than Elon. He owns Louis Vuitton. He owns Moet. He owns Christian Dior, Rihanna, Fenty. All these people had a bunch of money and they weren't going anywhere, and they spent all this money because most people want to look rich instead of actually being rich. Is it making sense?
Yeah.
So what if I tell you I could invest in Louis Vuitton, but I don't wear Louis Vuitton? Not a bad deal, right? See where I'm going with this? Are you getting it now? I think a light bulb just went off.
I think I'm getting it.
Now you're getting it. There we go.
So,
I don't wear Louis Vuitton, but if I wanted to invest in Louis Vuitton, I could. Where do I sign up, right? That's a good deal, isn't it? All these people who want to look rich, they're actually broke. So let them be broke. They look rich, but they're actually broke, and I'll be over here making money off of them. I don't have to walk around and look crazy and have designer clothes. I'll just be making money quietly. And because they have to maintain that facade, they got to maintain the lie, they got to keep on buying those clothes, don't they? And I'm going to keep on going like this. Is it making sense? You have to understand the trifecta of wealth building is invest into the stock market, real estate, and owning your own business. I'll give you a simple example. I own my own home, so I have a primary residence. I have money invested into the stock market, and I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own business. I'm a financial coach. So I have those three things working for me. So we're going to do a quick experiment, and this is going to work. And I've already done this, and it works every single time. Can't name an athlete, but name someone. What's your name, young lady? Were you at the financial literacy? You said yes? Yeah, you look familiar. Can you name someone who's not an athlete that's rich? Who? Rihanna. You know how she made her money? To Fenty. Yeah. And she's part of that LVMH thing. They own her brand. So she made money through, yes, music, but now she's an entrepreneur. Name someone who's rich. Who? Timothy who? Solomon, who's that? He's an actor? Okay. I don't know him. What movie he playing? I can't hear y'all. Willy Wonka? Okay. So I'm pretty sure he's into entrepreneurship. I'm pretty sure. I don't know him.
Is that the new Willy Wonka? Okay.
Oh, well, I can tell you right now, he's probably into real estate. He probably has a big house in California, real estate, because it goes up in value, right? Let's see here. Name someone who has money. Thank you, by the way. Name someone who has money. Don't name an athlete. None of us are LeBron James. None of y'all are 6'8", 250 with 3% body fat. None of y'all are Lamar Jackson, throw a ball 80 yards. Those are like very small examples, right? Patrick Mahomes, he can throw 60 yards, ball in a bucket. We can't do that. We're regular people, so how are we gonna make money? So name someone that's good. Robert Hill? 99% of the time, you name someone who has money, they got rich through those three things. To try to make their wealth building, you want to figure out what rich people are doing and then duplicate that from a financial standpoint. A lot of them don't get all into the morals, but financially, what are they doing, right? So if you figure out how to put your money to work, then you will start to have money. This making sense? There are a lot of people who don't understand that if they consume, if you make $100,000 and you spend $100,000, you end up with zero. Easy math, right? It's not hard. That's easy math. But what if you actually live on less than you make, and then you invest the difference? So you make $100,000, you have taxes, you actually make $82,000 a year, and then you live on less than that, and then you invest some of the extra money that you're not spending. So now you can start to build wealth. Is this making sense? So the quick example that I can use is, do you guys have Cash App? Anybody have Cash App? You can actually invest on Cash App just to get started. So I just showed you have Stocks App, you have Cash App on here. You have Cash App? Okay, you have Cash App, you go to your Cash App, and then you press this little button right here. You have stocks. You can invest with Cash App. Really easy. Instead of always paying money, you can invest with Cash App. So I'm about to tell you guys another app that you can use. Did y'all know that you can buy stocks on Cash App? Most of y'all just buy like I get my hair cut, I pay my barber with Cash App, right? You got Bitcoin on here, all this stuff. Yeah, you can invest in the stock market with that. Take advantage of the technology that's here. I didn't have all this when I was a kid. The next thing I'm going to share with you guys is the Acorns app. Have you guys heard of Acorns? Anybody heard of Acorns app? Acorns? Yeah, Acorns app. You can look it up. Okay, what Acorns does is this, really simple. Let's say you go and buy something for $2.50. They're going to round it up to the nearest dollar, which would be $3. They're going to take that 50 cents and invest that 50 cents into the stock market for you. Because you're already going to go buy stuff anyway. You're going to go buy the Smoothie King. You're going to go buy it and get something to eat, right? So now Acorns rounds that money up for you, and they put it into the stock market. So now you're spending money, and you're also investing into the stock market. Not a bad deal, right? You guys have to figure out how to save your money, and then as you get more mature, how to invest your money. Just making sense? I'm going to pause. Any questions so far about investment? Take your time. It's not a hard concept, but it can be a little tricky and intimidating at first once you get started.
5-minute warning.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Roberto?
When you try to invest money, like, does it depend the amount of money you put in said stuff?
What's that?
And when you try to invest money, does it depend on the amount of money you put in said stock?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Roberto want to know basically like how much you're gonna get back, right?
No, I'm just like saying how much money would you put in?
Oh yeah. Oh, so that's a great question. Don't worry about how much you're putting in. Just be consistent. A lot of people get caught up in the amount. Just be consistent. Even if it's just like, I'm just using an example, $20. If you consistently put in $20, you're gonna be better than someone saying, I put in 60 here, and then I skip like 4 months, and then I put in another 60. You'll be better off by putting in $20 every month, for example. Yeah. Because the tortoise always wins the race. I read that story a million times. I've never seen the rabbit win. The tortoise always wins the race, slow and steady. So most important is having time in the market, meaning your money is there. Money only has two best friends. Time and compound interest. Now, if you get those two things working together for you, now you can really start to make money. This making sense? So you put the money in, be consistent, and then let the compound interest create more money for you. Right? Any other money questions? Take your time. Roberto?
How would you know how much money you make just by adding money every month or two?
But how much money to put in?
Like, I'm asking, like, how does it work, and like how would you know how much is your money increasing or decreasing?
Oh, yeah. You can just go on there and look. You can just, it'll be just like just like savings account, you'll have an investment account.
Like a portfolio?
Yeah, it'll just tell you. It'll tell you like you put in $100 and you go check it tomorrow. It won't be anything. It'll just say $100, right? It might go down and say $98 one day. But if you just watch it over time, it'll start to creep up. It'll be just like anything else. It's like a bank. You be able to check your savings account. You be able to check your investment account. So you'll know if it's doing good or not. I always tell people, be a long-term investor. When you invest your money, it no longer belongs to you anymore. It belongs to your future. You have to start paying. The younger you has to start paying the older you right now. Because Father Time is undefeated. You're going to get old one day. You're not going to want to work. And you're not going to be able to work. So what money are you going to live off of? Tennessee Williams said it best. You can be young without money, but you can't be old without it. You don't want to be old with no money. It's okay to be young with no money because you can go out there and make it. Does that make sense? Can you imagine an 80-year-old out there trying to make money? He's having health problems. Got to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. How is he going to make money? This is the time to make money while you're strong, healthy. I know I got a few more minutes, not many minutes before I wrap up. The one thing I want to leave with you guys, and you might have some more questions I want to leave y'all with this. While you're young, this is the time to get ahead. I can tell you right now, if you put your head down and you stay focused, you look up, you're 30, I hope you don't think 30 is old. By the time you look up 30, you'll have a lot of money. But what's going to hold a lot of people back is they're going to be partying and not being serious about life. If you can focus right now, that's what I did. I joined the Army when I was 17, and boom, my life took off from there, and I've been focused ever since. I made some mistakes, a lot of mistakes. For the most part, I stayed the path and I was focused. Follow one course until successful. Follow one course until successful. If you stay focused right now and you work hard, you save your money, you start investing, you will actually have money. And someone that's going to be the same age as you, they're still going to be broke. I'm not trying to be mean because they've been drinking and partying and smoking and doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. Is that making sense? So don't think of your teen years as a time to work party. Actually take that time to stay focused and build something strong, build a strong foundation, and then you'll be good. Alright? Any other questions for me? Take your time. I have one more minute. Any other questions for me?
It's about investing in bonds, like stock. So
It says stop.
stocks, yeah.
Okay.
So would it be risky, like investing in them, or like is there no risk involved?
Yeah, that's a great question. He said, is there any risk in investing in stocks? Yes. There's always some risk when it comes to the stock market. So always do your own independent research. But I can tell you, a bigger risk is not investing at all. To look up and not have any money, that's the biggest risk ever. Does that make sense? I would rather say, man, I only have 20,000, but you could be like, I don't have anything at all. So even at 20,000, it's still going to continue to grow and work hard for you. 20,000 working hard for you is a lot better than zero.
Can you wrap up with you started talking about the Acorn, but you didn't get a chance to, because somebody asked a question, to tell them how the leftover money works with that?
Yeah. So leftover money, the example I was using was if you buy something for $2.50 with your Acorn app, because every time you go outside, you spend money. Every time you leave the house, you spend money. Some of y'all on stock and get soda from the grocery store, spend $2.50. They're going to round it up to $3. Acorn is going to do this for you. They're going to take that 50 cents and invest 50 cents into the stock market for you without you even thinking about it. It just happens. So we was talking about the amount. 50 cents turns into pennies make dollars. Am I lying? Pennies make dollars. So that 50 cents is going to work for you by going into the stock market. So every time you swipe your card, it now invests money for you into the, like I said, you can pick the S&P 500. So now you're buying stuff, you're still living your life, but then you're also investing at a young age. And a lot of adults use that. That's how a lot of people get started in investing. And it takes the guesswork out. A lot of people get so intimidated that they just say, I'm not going to do this. And I'm just going to be scary don't be scared because that's, I already showed y'all, this is how you build wealth and make your money work for you. Does that make sense? I know I'm out of time. Any other money questions before I wrap up? Any other money questions? Yes or no?
Even if that app is already investing for you, it's still good to invest yourself. Like,
Yeah, that's a great question. So like a lot of people, like for example, like when you have a job, you can have like a 401k and your job invests money for you, and then you can still have your Acorns app. Because your Acorns app is going to be when you swipe your debit card, right? And then you will actually have money that you make from your job, and they're investing it as well. So you're like now you're double dipping. Does that make sense? So you have your job investing for you, and then you have your Acorns app working for you, and now guess what? You got two different ways that you have money working for you. That's what they would call it passive income, because the money is working for you, but you're not really working for it. Like that's pretty cool, right? Because you're here, or like you're here in school, and your money is working for you. Because the market is the market. All these cars going by, some of them are Teslas, but a lot of them still need gasoline. We still need clothes. We're still scrolling on Instagram. We're still wearing Nikes. We're still going to Starbucks. You ever use Google? What if I told you I'm part owner of Google? You probably be like, you think I'm lying? You think I'm part owner of Google? I am, because it's part of the S&P 500. Is Google going anywhere? Please, if they're going to go out of business, let me know how. I would love to know. It's the #1 search engine in the world. Why would I not invest in that? You don't have to be a stock expert to look that up, do you? What do you do when you want to look something up?
Ask people.
You ask people? Anything else?
When you want to look, you use like search engines.
Whoa, slow down. What search engine? What search engine are you using? It's called Alphabet. That's Google's parent company, Alphabet. It's not gonna say Google, it'll say Alphabet. If you never know what that is, that's Google's parent company. Why would I not invest in that? It's the #1 search engine. Of course I'm gonna invest in that. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Alright, so I know